And to get us kicked off, we're going to bring out Elisa.
Yeah.
So that if it's hot out, if it's cold out, no matter what's going on, I'm just going to be sweltering in here. It's been working out pretty well so far. Going to bed wasn't that bad, it was pretty cozy. Although it was kind of hard to finish in the seat during class. And taking the shower was just really awkward. But I mean, when isn't it? Really serious stuff, so I'm gonna have to take this off because I just can't take myself seriously. Let's talk about poo. Poo is funny. Poo being funny is one of the things that brings people together. All parts of the world, different generations, like brings enemies together. It's all good. Except for one type of poo, which, like, when you realize this, like, the difference between metaphorical poo and literal poo, it's fairly earth-shattering. It never goes away. It's like the arrow and the FedEx sign between the E and the X. Once you see it, it's always there. But, like, when you realize that actual poo isn't funny, and it turns you from a poo-tolerant person to a pooist, like, it's hard to deal with. I mean, it happened to me this summer. I was working at a day camp, and I've been working at this day camp for the past couple of years, same age group of kids, 5 and 6 year olds, and on average, usually about 1 or 2 pee accidents a week, which is really good. Working at a day camp lowers your standards. But for some reason, this year, summer 08 was like the summer of poo. A good 6 or 7 of my campers, like, out of the 90 immediately, they were one, like, of 10, because that would be just tragic. These kids kept pooping. Like, in the playground, where there was no change of clothes nearby, like, during swimming in the pool, when, like, floater, and even for one awesome little guy, when he was standing literally 10 feet away from the bathroom. It's just not cool. Like, one of my favorite campers, Big Dave, had a good 5 accidents in 4 days. It's record-setting, legendary. He will go down in the record books. And so, poo just can't be funny when the only thing between it and you is a pair of a child's side eyes. And I don't understand, like, what happened to toilet training? Like, I was really good at toilet training. When I was 3, I was helping my mom fold the laundry, and there's this sweet pair of Princess Jasmine from Aladdin underpants. And as a 3-year-old with very little sense of varying degrees of urgency, I needed them. I needed them right away. And so my told me what you have to do to get underwear. Basically, no more diaper, use the toilet. And I was like, okay, cool. I've been abstinent 3 since 93. So, let's keep it going. Maybe this whole thing is just being a child raised in the city. I know there are a lot of differences between a child raised in the city versus a child raised in the suburbs. One of the most glaring examples is driving and car culture and all of that. Like, I didn't get my driver's license till this summer. And so I was really excited, so I drove as much as possible. And as most drivers do, I paid attention to the road signs. And there was one in particular which, every time I passed it, confused me greatly. It reads, in case of emergency, dial 911, free call. Are people not gonna dial 911 if it costs money? Like, first of all, how can you get your driver's license and not remember 911? I know it's a really long number, but mnemonic devices are handy. The one I thought of was ICE. No! It stands for in case of emergency, 911. You guys can use it if you want. I know some people might be looking for it. So yeah, but second part of this is, who's not gonna pay 10 cents to report an accident, whether it happens to someone else you don't know or to yourself? Driving with Joe, you get into an accident. You're like, I can't believe I'm pinned down. Joe, come down. Joe, call the police. I'm running out of minutes this month. Do you think you could? Joe, I'm bleeding profusely. Can you please dial 911? Do they accept texts? What would a text to 911 look like? Rough, just like raffle, but ROFB. Figure it out. Rolling on the floor, bleeding. They're awesome. TTYLC. Talk to you later. Concussion. Yeah, I think the 10 cents are worth it, personally. Maybe it strikes me a little more because I'm taking this really cool EMT class here this year. And so last week we started doing CPR and acting out little scenarios, like when you would find the victim, what you're gonna do. And so one of the things they tell you, one of the most important things is, instead of yelling, somebody call 911, they tell you to point to someone, one of the many watchers who are staring and gawking and not really doing anything, and say, you, call 911, and then come back and tell me you did. Which I guess makes sense, because you're not supposed to assume anything has happened, any types of care or anything like that, unless you've been specifically told. But the message I kind of got from it was, well, you know what happens when you assume you die. But no, the EMT class is I'm really excited for it. And starting in March or April or something, we're gonna as we get farther on in the course, we're gonna be able to go on these externships. I had no idea that was a term. So these externships where we get to ride around in the ambulance, and we're not certified yet, so we don't get to do any care or anything, but we get to watch and experience it, which is really cool. And so I was looking through my date book at the schedule, and I was thinking, April. If they schedule me for an ambulance in April, on April Fool's Day, they asked for whatever happened.